It's done anthology because I forgot about it. I had it with me. I was watching the Olympics this afternoon, the sailing, and the Chinese girl was always the first and the Dutch girl was second. And I just said in all my enthusiasm, why doesn't the Chinese girl just die right now? And then I thought, oh, I brought a poem about that because I once was in a jury in which we had to judge stories about people who sent in stories about the environment. And there was one guy who lived in an apartment block and he really hated Chinese. And for...
Was he a vegetarian?
I don't know, he also hated students. And but he was just old and getting cranky, I think.
Oh yeah?
So, I can relate to that. It's all about me. So it's called Chinese. Mr. M has already lived more than 30 years on the 4th floor of the Buttercup block and been through a thing or two and feels that Chinese ought never get to live on the ground floor, but live always up top on the uppermost story because of the strange cooking and frying smells that all day long reek up the staircase, and you never know how many are living there, and Chinese are quite bland. Mr. M has a large collection of European blackout paper from the Second World War. Each country had its own paper. Last week in Assen, from 8 floors up, the Chinese fell to death out of a window. Up's a daisy, says Mr. M.
And the future is built on the foundation of the past. And I just like to read this poem. It's called Tea Time. It takes 4 hours now to cut, bale and wrap the 3 meadows back. The first headland wouldn't have been cut in that length. I'd go back with tea and paper sandwiches, a dessert just being there. After the saving, there'd be a gathering in the house. Frank Joe would produce his fiddle and the women dance. Magic, the closest to expressing our feelings, and those kids allowed to stay up late, a rich treat. I never did grow enough to wield the sight. Lucky, I was told. Horsepower lessoned men and horse. But there was time for tea. There's always time for tea. It's just one man now doing all the work. One man called John Deere, who has no time for tea.